Please welcome Bobby Brown.
How you doing?
Mr. Bobby Brown.
How you doing?
The man, the myth, the legend. There are few people who have had more of an impact on society and just like culture as a whole as you have. You know, I was listening to your discography just before coming. I was like, this is wild. You just made the music of lifetimes.
Oh, thank you.
Does that ever sink in for you sometimes when you just realize like how many children were made to your music?
Now that you say it that way, yeah, kind of jaws mine.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, your biography just came out. The documentary about your life.
Yes.
And one thing that really struck me about this story, and you've been really candid over the past few years. You know, you wrote your memoir, you've released this biography, you've got this story about your family now, is how little we knew about you, and how much we knew about the little that we knew. You know,
Right.
we know Bobby Brown in one dimension, the bad boy. You know, we know about all the terrible things that happened in life, but it feels like sometimes the context wasn't there. You know, it wasn't Bobby Brown made a mistake. It was Bobby Brown's just a bad person. Do you feel like now there's more of a vindication happening in your life?
Well, yes. I got a chance to explain myself, to speak about myself. That's what the documentary was about. It was about me getting the chance to speak, clearly and truthfully about everything in my life, and I'm glad I did it.
You've had an eventful life as well.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, we've lived some of it with you from the outside. You know, with misinformed opinions. What would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions about you as Bobby Brown, the man, that you wish people knew about you as a person?
That I'm just a softie. I'm really not a bad boy. On stage I'm a bad boy.
Oh, okay.
On stage I'm a bad boy, but off stage I'm really quiet.
You back on stage. Congratulations. It was 30 tour dates?
30 tour dates.
Congratulations
yeah,
on
New
that.
Edition, yeah.
Yeah. New edition.
Sold out.
Sold out as well.
Sold out as well, yeah.
That must have been quite a journey for you because, I mean, when you started out, how old were you guys for your first tour?
14.
14 years old.
It's 40 years ago.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That is really,
40
really
years
wild.
ago.
Is there like a change now when you're performing? Can you feel it?
Now it's a job.
It's a job?
It's a job now. Before it was just, fun. It was just,
right.
We just loved being on stage. But now it's work. You got to have a lot of Ben Gay after the show. A lot of icy hot.
You know what I love about the tour is the story, and what I mean by the story, it's the fullness of your story. You know, Bobby Brown is somebody who's given people a lot of joy and then has also experienced a lot of grief and sadness. You know,
Yes.
you've never claimed to be a saint. You know, you've gone through your moments where you have to be accountable for your actions. But one thing I feel that's different now in the world is how people deal with addiction.
Yes.
And you've really been open about your journey to staying sober. You've talked about how hard it is. You've talked about how much you work at it. Why did you open up, and do you feel that people accept your story or see you slightly differently now?
Well, it's an everyday job, It's an everyday situation. I work hard at every day not picking up a drink, That's something that I've been working on for years, and just recently finding the love of my life, my wife, and having all these new kids, it's just something that I feel. Why'd you laugh? It's something that I have to do, for myself and for my family.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good,
We see that on the show. You have a joy that can only come from a certain place. You have a newfound love in your life.
Yes.
How did you deal with a lot of the grief that you experienced? You were somebody who lost an ex-wife who you loved, who the world loved.
Yes.
You're somebody who suffered the loss of 2 children. I think something no parent ever wants to go through, nor can imagine going through.
I don't wish that on anybody.
Right. And you have had to learn how to find life on the other side of grief. How did you do that, and how do you continuously try to do that?
Lots of prayer, lots of therapy. I'm in therapy, at least twice a week, and praying, and the love of my family, the love of my wife and my kids. That just does it for me.
It really feels like it's made a difference, seeing you in the biography. We see you with your old group. You see New Edition back together. I even love the moments where there's one part where I think it's DeVoe who says to you, he's like, man, remember what an asshole you were on this tour doing, and you guys laugh about it and you share, and it feels like you've all grown, you've all matured. I mean, I know you both share a bond in becoming sober, but if you could go back, I mean, obviously life has happened the way it's happened, but if there's one small thing at the beginning of your career that you could have said to Bobby Brown, hey, watch out for this, what would it have been?
I would just tell myself to take my time, because I grew up way too fast. Being 14 and being on the road, being away from your family, you get into things. Right. Especially as a child, I got into way too many things too quickly in life, and I'm just, I'm not mad about it, because I wouldn't be the man that I am today without experiencing all of the things that I've experienced. But I'm just grateful today, and that's the plus.
It is a plus. It's good to have you here as a person, Yes. It's good to see you. It's good to see you living, enjoying your family. So what's your hope for the future then? Bobby Brown, I feel like we've seen have maybe 2 to 3 different, phases of your life, which everyone has in different ways.
Right.
We've seen the young Bobby Brown. Well, I wasn't born, but you know what I mean. We've seen.
Wow.
No, I don't want to act like I was there. I don't want to act like I was, but I'm saying, we've seen that Bobby Brown. We've seen Bobby Brown go through the tumultuous times. Now we're seeing this Bobby Brown, therapy, prayer, family, that, everyone who sees you sees that love. What do you hope this next chapter in your life will be all about?
Just positivity, just positive things going on. I just want to go about life with, just positive.
Right.
As long as I keep myself surrounded by positive people, I'll be positive. So I just want the positivity in my life.
And you bring that into people's lives as well, man. Thank you.
Congratulations
on your journey.
Thank you so much.
For real, man. Congrats on what you've done.
You got it.
Keep going every single day, Bobby.
All right, brother.
We want to keep you around, man, every single day. Bobby Brown, Every Little Step, airs Tuesdays on the A&E Network, and Biography, Bobby Brown, is available on demand or to stream on the A&E app and aetv.com.